And we are live. What's going on, art through this and change makers? This is another week of our Chain Podcast. Yes, sir. This is Mr. Sapiosexual, and today is Therapeutic Thursday. And I got my man Mad Hatter Marshall in the building. What's up, Mad Hatter?
Good evening or good morning, depending on where you're watching from.
Good evening or good morning, depending where you're watching from. Because it's other people across the world, they about 12 hours ahead of us.
Yes.
Exactly. Exactly. Hey man, so being that this is Therapeutic Thursday, man, we're gonna jump right into these therapeutic questions. Um, so let me ask you, man, what does mental wellness mean to you? And how do you prioritize that in your day if you do?
My mental wellness is probably the ability to control my my mind, the ability to contain a balance in life.
Yeah.
And that goes on every day to so I don't fly off the handle.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. We have to be able to conduct ourselves and accept things that cannot change, like we were just saying, so that we don't, like you just said, fly off the handle. I mean, to handle things poorly. Absolutely. Ab-
I got a short fuse, and I usually deal with the repercussions afterwards. It's not until afterwards that I'm like, ah, fuck.
so what have you done to like combat that, knowing that you have that short fuse?
Try to remove myself from situations.
Yes, yes. Avoid
Tr-
situations that you know is triggers, right?
And one thing that was taught to me that I tried to work on and everything is try not to let people live rent free in my head.
Mhm. Yes, man. Life is too expensive to be letting people, what I'm saying, live rent free in your head. Hell no, man. Gotta be able to let that shit go. LIG, it is what we like to call it. LIG, let it go. You know what I'm saying? Don't dwell on none of that. Anything in a negative space, in a negative realm, I try to remove it just as fast as it came. Because we learn in life that a lot of things is temporary. So being that life is temporary itself, I cannot spend any moment dwelling in negativity longer than I should be. You know what I mean? And none of us should be dwelling in negativity at all. So like I try to any like the Bible tells us that you can get angry but sin not. So like I try to avoid even allowing myself to get angry. You know what I mean? Um, I don't put myself in situations like you said that's going to create triggers for me to be angry. Yeah. So when I distance myself or isolate myself, it has nothing to do with not caring about people. It's just simply like a wanting and desiring my peace at such a high level.
Sometimes you got to be able to read a room.
Yes. Yes. It's a saying. It says that God gave us two ears and one mouth. You know what I'm saying? Said it was better for us to listen than to be heard. So
Then why do you give us two sets of teeth and two lips?
he said, why you say you get two sets of teeth and two lips? I guess so that you be able to be edified. Uh, so let me ask you, man. How do you how would you differentiate between something that is like a normal stress or something that is like anxiety worse where you need medication? How would you decipher that for someone?
I can't decipher it for anybody. I can say that everyday stressors would probably be the paper jammering at work at the copy machine, the
Right,
internet slowing down, or your kids saying, "Why ain't the internet working?" The everyday stressors,
right.
the out of control, the sporadic ones that come on sporadically out of nowhere, that
Hmm.
come out of left field, and you find yourself in a hot flash with hives and having yourself a panic attack for no forsaken reason. That's the anxiety part of it.
Right. Exactly. That's how you separate that. You know what I'm saying? And if all that is happening, you may want to seek medical help. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think I agree with that. I mean, I think you hit that one like a head on a coffin, if you will. In what ways can vulnerability be strength in therapeutic settings, would you say?
It's going to break through the walls that you broke, that you have built up, t- that will make you change and be able to become the person that you want to be.
Yeah.
But it's going to make you relive some things that you don't want to live through. So it may take you down a downward spiral. Sometimes you got to take 2 steps forward to go once. It takes 2 steps forward, takes 3 steps back.
Right. Right. I respect that. I understand that. I think the only way for a therapeutic setting, whether it's speaking with a therapist or speaking with a counsel group or a counselor or doing something recreational, I think the only way that it benefits you is if you go into it being open, being vulnerable, being willing to accept the transition that you finna get yourself into. Because if you're not going to put yourself all into the ther- therapeutic session, then well, you just wasting your time and other people's money, if not your own money. You know? Do you
There's no faking it till you make it in therapy.
no, no.
You can't fake it and make it in therapy, or else you're just gonna dig yourself an early grave.
Yes, yes. Now let me ask you, uh, have you ever been in therapy?
I've been in therapy for a real long time.
Okay, cool. So how easy or when was you able to be vulnerable? When were you able to open up to a therapist? Was that
When I
something?
could find one that I could speak with, that I could relate with,
Right.
because you don't want to open up to somebody that reminds you of why you're going into speaking, and you don't want to go there going to speak to somebody and they're just barely listening to you anyway, and they're not paying attention.
Yes. Yes.
Like good teachers and bad teachers, there's good therapists and bad therapists. There's therapists that just jot down notes and throw out pills that are no better than the drug dealers. They're just drug dealers themselves.
Right. Yeah. So, how do you go about finding a good therapist? What is that process like?
Word of mouth, I think, would be the best bet. See who find other people that do it. Because yes, there is your friends are in therapy. Don't let them lie to you.
Right. Exactly. Man, so what do you think is the negative stigma on therapy, on mental health, on getting help?
One is that you are a danger to society. Would probably be the first one.
Hmm.
Another one would be that you are a burden to society. Would probably be another one.
Right.
Considering they have mental issues, they're probably crazy and everything, they're probably homeless and have some addiction or something like that, that fills up the burden and the whole dangerous to society thing.
Right. I get that. So, what do you think, or how do you think we could change that stigma?
we well we're changing it now, but I think we're kind of having so much of an influx in it that people are using it, starting to use it as a crutch.
Mm.
That it's my triggers or my my illness or my this. They're quick to bring it up and everything like that. When people that are suffering from depression and everything like that, and the suicidal ones, you always hear is, I didn't even know nothing was going on. I didn't hear anything was going on and everything.
Right.
It's not the one sitting there talking about their triggers every time something is brought up.
So you're saying the ones who are really hurting are not the ones that are being vocal about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I respect that. I respect that. I respect that. How do you feel about reaching out and communicating to other people to to check in with loved ones, to check on a friend's mental? How do you feel about that?
You can check on them all you want, but I'm telling you right now, if they tell you the truth or not, that's on them.
Right.
Because
Right.
some of the best depression, some of the best liars, you'll become the best actor going on. You'll win yourself an Oscar.
Hmm. So you're saying someone who is struggling with depression may not even want other people to know, and they would may mask it so well that you would never even know that they depressed.
Exactly.
That's exactly what my man is saying. What role do you think relationships play in mental health?
Uh, it could be you have a problem and you have mommy issues and you're a Freudian. You could have suicidal ideations. You could have homicidal ideations. You could have uh no, if I can't have her, nobody's gonna have her after a breakup,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and have that type of issue going on. So relationships hold a strong negative and strong positive.
Right.
Because if you have positive relationships, can become too positive if the person's not stable enough.
Hmm. I understand that.
That's why there's so many family annihilators.
Unfortunately, unfortunately, you hear about that type of wicked movements often. Uh, Probably more often than it should be. Uh, what do you think the biggest misconception on therapy that people should address?
That it's miraculously gonna fix you. That you're miraculously gonna see a magic witch doctor and they're gonna wave a magic wand and go poof, you're fine.
So it don't work like that,
No.
huh? Would you recommend therapy?
Yes, I would.
Do you feel like it's something that is necessary?
I don't think it's necessary for everybody. I think there's some people that can go without it.
Right, right,
I, I wish I could be one of them, but I'm not.
right, right. Respect, respect, respect. I think if you don't, I think a form of therapy is necessary. Is what I would say. Whatever form of therapy that may be for you, I think a form of therapy is necessary. And I think communication is necessary. Whether you talk to a therapist or whether you talk to someone who you're able to, vent and get things off of your chest to and bounce ideas off of, um, I think having someone to talk to is essential. No matter if that's your therapist, your friend, your significant other, your family member, I think having someone in your corner that you can be vulnerable enough to just, pour out your feelings and deepest, darkest thoughts to without judgment is essential. What
Is
would you?
vulnerability a strength or a weakness?
I think vulnerability is a strength. I think it takes strength to be vulnerable. I think that's a misconception that vulnerability is a weakness or weak, because I feel like it takes a very strong person to admit something about themselves. You know what I mean? That to be vulnerable with themselves. I think it takes a very strong person, in my opinion. What would your thoughts be on that?
See, I was the nice guy and did the nice things to the girls and everything like that. And I'm telling you right now, I'm doing a whole lot better being an asshole than I was being the nice guy. I'm telling you right now, that whole nice guys finish last shit is absolute true. I'm telling you, that whole vulnerability shit is bullshit. They don't want that sensitive crap.
You said women don't want it.
No.
So when women, so you saying a man should never try to be vulnerable with a woman.
Well, I say he can be, but I'm saying the man needs to be vulnerable around the woman. She starts clowning you and calls you soft. Next thing you know, it starts traveling.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. This is true. So with that being said, man, how does you just open up another rabbit hole. So with that being said, do you think this is why men struggle with being vulnerable to women? With women?
Yes, yes, yes. Because I, for the longest time, I was the nice guy. I would, I was a little. You could say I was a little on the feminine side or something like that.
I would,
I would show my feminine side around women and everything to try to get them to like me and do the things like that and be vulnerable and show like that.
Mhm.
And I always got told, oh, he's too soft, he's too nice, he's too this, he's too that, and everything like that. And the second I started not caring and not giving a fuck and telling them to go fuck themselves and blowing them off, is the second they started attracting to me like bees to honey.
So you said so you saying the saying that the good girls like the bad guys is true.
Yes,
So the asshole wins the girl,
yes,
not the nice guy.
yes. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Nice guy finished last.
Yes.
Hey, he said nice guy finished last, man. Marshall said yes, they do. He said he gets better results off being an asshole to women than being a gentleman. I want women to chime in for the women listeners. If you're a women listener, if you're on Instagram or if you're on Facebook, you got to come over to YouTube to get your comments seen in real time. But if you come over to YouTube, so where you can see your comments real time, how do you? What is the woman's perspective on that? Do you think that men don't be vulnerable around women because women turn it around on men and say that men are sensitive, or call men weak or punks because they're being vulnerable? Or as a woman, do you think that a man being vulnerable makes him weak? So I would love to hear a woman perspective on that. What role do you think physical health plays in a mental well-being?
I think your physical health I think your mental health plays more on your physical health
Mm.
than your physical plays on your mental. Because I think you have to have the mental stability to want to do things physically.
Mm.
You can do things physically all day long and you might get that endorphin
Yes.
for at the end of the day, but at the end of the day, you still might be drinking life away.
Huh. Hmm.
You,
Respect that.
you could be living it up at the gym all day long and everything like that and running a 4,440, a 4,240, bench pressing 350 20 times or something like that. putting up combine numbers
Right.
and going home at the end of the day and drinking bottles of Jack because you're so fucking depressed.
Respect. Respect. So you're saying you can be very mental, you can be very physically fit and still struggling mentally.
Yes.
Respect. Man, but you said that you, in your perspective, feel that the mental have more impact on the physical health than the physical health have on the mental well-being.
Yes.
Hmm.
Because if you're mentally sharp and everything like that, your body will start reacting. You'll start wanting to do things and everything like that. You can get to the point where you're working out and everything and you're going to the gym and every day, but at every night you're on the couch eating food and everything to try to keep put on that extra weight and everything so you can keep getting buff at the gym because you getting big at the gym is your mental issue. You feel that you need to get big to impress the ladies.
Right,
You need to look you need to be a physical presence.
right. Let me ask you. So, like having a diary or like journaling, do you think that is beneficial to people's mental health?
Yes.
Speak on that. Talk about
I think everybody should keep records of themselves
it. Hmm.
so they can look back on it and say, "Wow, look what I was thinking a year ago at this point, and look at where I'm at right now." They could sit there and actually see the change because you're not noticing the change from month to month or year by year because it's literally going fast as fuck.
Right.
Time is flying when you're having fun. Well, I'm not having fun. I'm not having too much fun, but time is still flying.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Time is moving. Time is moving. You blink
We
and a month done went by. I mean, I thought it was just March 1st. I mean, it's already the end of March, finna be April of 2025. Ladies
Yes,
and gentlemen.
we're about to go into April of 2025, and it feels like New Year's was literally
2 weeks ago. It's crazy. I mean, yeah, time is definitely staying still for no man. Um, that is absolutely true. Absolutely true. You want to read some of these questions?
sure. What do you think are the societal expectations that shape the success and happiness of today?
Mm. Um, well, I think social media makes it very difficult in relationships. I think it make it very superficial in relationships because you have so many ideas of relationship goals. Um, and then you have these criteria for men and women saying what you must have in order to be a catch. Like, you have women now saying that if a man doesn't make six figures, he's not worth dating. If he's not 6 foot and two and physically fit, then he's not attractive. Same thing for women. If a woman is not supermodel tall with long legs and slim shape, then she's not attractive. You know what I mean? If she can't fit anything in Victoria's Secret, she's not sexy. So I think that societal expectations really, I think it really messes up people's perception of what reality is, because so many people are trying to catch up or trying to be what society say is beautiful or cool or relevant, trendy.
But in the age of social media, can't anybody be a socialite?
Yes, absolutely.
So why do they have to give up a perfect? Why can't they show off their family and call their family the perfect family instead of giving this whole persona of what the perfect family is?
Right. I agree with that, but I think even though anybody in society now could be an influencer because of the ability to jump on these platforms and go viral, and the volatilities of these platforms, and the study of the algorithm. But what I'm saying is for like mainstream or like media, things that we see on commercials or magazines, ads that we see when we on our phones, it has a certain depiction of what
Yeah.
they feel is socially acceptable, and I
Yes.
and I feel like those perceptions of what is socially acceptable can mess with you if you look at that ad or look at that magazine or read this book or see this commercial and don't relate to the people that you see. I think that could do something to your mental if you hold those people to high regard or hold that article to high regard or hold that social media platform to a high regard.
Especially in this beauty culture that we're having now, where it's nothing but beauty being imaged out on the masses and everything like that. It's really saying if you're not of top notch, you're literally nothing in this world. And we're judging a book by its cover.
I
And
mean,
I don't judge books by their cover.
look how many women spend millions of dollars on cosmetic surgery because they trying to fit societal expectations of what is happiness, as what is success. I'm not successful unless I got a BBL. I'm not successful unless I look like Jessica Albi on Honey. You know what I mean? Or you know what I mean? So, so I think that's what it is, though. What I mean. If a guy don't take his shirt off and look like I don't know, Shamar Moore on a sexy scene or whatever, like then you're not handsome enough. I
Yes.
right. What I'm saying, dad bods make you feel insecure because you don't look like the top guy at the gym.
Just to let you know, Magic Mike made 150 million at the movie theater. Shrek made 400 million.
So you can be you can look like an ogre and still make it. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, for sure. uh, um, so let me ask you: how can supporting friends and family help with struggling with that are struggling mentally? How could you help with that?
First, you have to be aware.
Yes. How can you help without being aware?
Exactly. Then the second thing you can do is to be an ear.
Mm,
First of all, you have to be an ear first. Don't go in there trying to voice your opinion and everything. Let them do the talking. Let them get everything out and everything before you even say a word. Let
right.
them know you're just there to listen. And
Mm,
once they get somebody to listen, that's probably what they'll want in the most part anyway. They want somebody to listen to them because they feel they're not being heard.
right.
They feel they're falling on deaf ears.
What do you say to someone that feel like they're not being heard? What do you say to that person? If we have a listener right now that feel like they have nobody, what do you say? What would you say to that person?
Somebody's always watching.
Somebody's always watching. And believe it or not, there's always somebody who cares about you and is willing to listen to whatever you feel like is too extreme. And no matter the circumstance, it may sound cliche, but it can always be a little worse. Always look at your cup half full, never half empty. Know that whatever circumstances is happening, it's never a loss. It's only a learning lesson. So we have to put ourselves in a position to figure out where you can learn from this. If your life is not going the way that you want it to go right now in this current moment, ask yourself, look at what's going on, and ask yourself, how can you learn from this? What does God want you to learn in this particular moment that you are going through your storm? Because God don't send us storms for no reason. You know what I mean? God doesn't put anything on us for no reason. Sometimes we go through things to be able to equip us for the next stage in life. It may be something that we get from this, that obstacle that you went through. You learn and develop more from that obstacle and learning how to defeat that obstacle, versus you never having it. So now you develop another skill in life that you didn't have before. So I always try to preach to always look at your circumstances as, um, everything happens for a reason, and it's never a loss. It's always a lesson. So, what can I learn in my mistake or in my circumstances? If my circumstances is not where I wanted to be, and understand that we are the controller of our destiny. So, if we are not happy with our circumstances, we have to put ourselves in a position to remove ourselves from those circumstances.
Well spoken.
uh, yeah. Hey man, so how can we cultivate resilience in the face of adversary? In the face of adversity. Mhm.
How can we cultivate resilience in the face of adver- adversity?
Adversity.
Hmm. Uh, Face it head on.
Totally agree.
Face it head on. Don't try to take the shortcut. Don't try to go around it and deal with it later. Face it head on and go straight through, walk straight through.
Yes.
For I am the baddest motherfucker that ever walked this bitch.
I know that's right. Head held high, okay? As you should. And that goes for any of us, man. Like, understand that, man, all of us is made in God likeness and image. You know what I mean? So we are all God like. You know what I mean? So if you just tap into that greatness, and if you don't believe that it I'm with Cat Williams, or whoever, whatever comedian said this. I think it might have been Cat, but it was a comedian I heard. He said that for the people who are atheists, I have no judgment for anyone, but for people who are atheists, it's like, life's so bad that you couldn't even make up a God. Like, I like, what I'm saying, you just so bad that you can't even make up one. You mad at everybody. You don't believe that there's nothing greater. To me, that's a crazy way of thinking in my perspective. Um, but man, whatever higher source that you pull to, man, as long as you believe in it and trust in it, know that that everything will be all right. You know what I'm saying? My source is God. You know what I'm saying? So and and because of him, I know that everything is going to be all right. No matter if everything is looking down, you know what I mean? I know that if I'm down, the only way to go is up. So there's no need to be looking down, if that makes sense. You got any more questions you wanted to read?
Well, we went over the couple that I was thinking earlier. So I'm going to look right here.
How do you think gratitude can change your mental?
Once you start feeling gratitude towards the small things, and you can start worrying about everything little, and
Yeah,
it starts relieving pressure off your weight off your shoulders little by little, it can to start showing that maybe life's not as bad as you think it is, and maybe the world's not crumbling like you think it might be.
Right. Yes, I think that's a very good way of looking at that, and I think that's exactly what that does. When I feel like when we start to appreciate the small things in life, it, like you just said, it eliminates us from feeling like, woe me, or life is just, oh, f my life, or like people like to say. Um, I think I think honestly, us as Americans, I think we're very spoiled. Um, and I think, because we're so spoiled and because we're so entitled to certain shit, that we forget that, there's third world countries and people who, don't have the same resources that we have in America. There's countries that still don't know what AC is. There's countries that still don't know what, a functional, um, running water is. So like, I think that we're so spoiled that we forget that in other parts of the world, you know, we're super rich, even our poorest American.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think we also forget that we tend to always go after what's new. We seem to want whatever's new. We want the newest new.
Yeah.
If it's the 15, the 16, the 17, the 18, the 22, the 99, they made no change whatsoever. Just the fact they put a new number on it and it came out this year, you got to have it.
Have it. You gotta have it. You gotta
And they're really good at marketing the same thing over and over again. They're really good at selling you the same product.
with updates. Oh, same phone, same design, same look. The camera a little different. So here you go. $500 more dollars than the last phone. Yeah. Oh, this next phone. Oh, okay. But the next phone we made it 2 inches wider. Oh man.
Oh, we changed the port. It's no longer a lightning port. It's now a USB-C, so your headphones won't work. Oh yeah, we're not even going to give you headphones anymore. Oh, the plug to plug it in. Oh, you're not getting that either. You're just getting the wire. So you get a wire. Don't you can't plug it into anything, but you get a wire. You can't plug it into an adapter to plug it into the socket on the wall because we're not giving you that anymore.
No.
We're not giving you headphones to listen to your music and everything and have it like that because we don't give you that anymore. But we keep upping the price as we take away more and more from you.
It's
Yeah.
true. The more they take away, the more money they charge for the phone.
Yes. They used to give out headphones and plugs and everything. They just give you a wire now.
No, for real. You ain't never lied. Oh man, look who done crept in the building.
Y'all already know it's your boy BU because that's all you gotta motherfucking do.
What up?
What up, fellas?
What
You
up?
crept in the building. Mr. Co-host, what's going on, brother?
What up? What up? Nothing. Had to wait on softball and everything.
How,
What we talking about now? I heard atheists. I heard a couple I was watching.
how your daughter's softball game went?
It went, hey, slugger, a little slugger. How y'all week been so far?
Man, blessed, brother, blessed. Man.
Good.
What you said, Matt Hatter?
Good.
Oh yeah. All right. So where we at? What topic we on? Where we at?
Therapeutic Thursday, man. We were just running through some therapeutic questions and topics.
Okay, which one we on now?
You could jump in at any one of them, man, and we'll just let you speak on it or piggyback if you haven't jumped on that one.
All right, so I got a question because this comes with me last night. Um, how do y'all get what where he went?
I don't know.
So Marshall with sleeping because I toss and turn at night.
Okay. What?
Do you huh?
Okay.
So do you how do you get through your night with sleep? Because I be having a lot
How
on
do
my
I
mind.
get through my night with sleep? If I'm not taking my sleep meds, because I don't like to take them because they're addictive and they knock me out for hours and everything. They're a little strong sometimes, and they kind of leave me groggy the next day, and I don't want to be groggy the next day when I wake up. When I finally wake up, it really takes me a while to get going the next day, so I don't like taking them. So usually I just lay there, toss and turn,
That's what I do.
come up with random thoughts. I end up having my phone and end up writing instead. I don't go on my phone for like social media or anything like that or anything or the internet or something like that, but I'm in my phone writing notes in my phone and stuff going because I got random thoughts jumping in my head as I lay down to go to bed.
Oh, okay, well yeah, with me at night, I toss and turn. Uh, a lot of times I toss and turn actually, but it's partially because when I get home I take naps, so I'm not ready to go to sleep, but I know I got to because I gotta be up early. But also it's like yo, I'll be thinking. I think too much. I'm an overthinker. I think way too much, and it'd be simple shit like damn, I forgot to do this at work. It's mostly work or like because it's not what people think about me or whatever. But yeah, it's mostly work, so it bothers me. I toss and turn, and then I wake up. I'm like, man, all that shit I was worried about in my sleep didn't really matter because all of it was done. I'm just an overthinker. I realized that recently, actually.
Sound like you've been realizing some new things about yourself recently.
Yeah. So do you toss and turn like in your sleep, or
Tossing and turning in my sleep.
do you like think
Absolutely,
like do you be an
absolutely.
overthinker?
I'm an insomniac. I'm an Aquarius, so of course we are analysts. So we're constantly thinking about different things. My mind is never at rest.
Okay, I feel that. How y'all feel about missed opportunities?
Missed opportunities. Um, I don't believe in missed opportunities. I think everything happens in its own timing. So I don't think nothing is missed. I believe some things are delayed, not denied. Um, but I believe everything that does not happen did not happen because it did not mean to, and everything that does happen happened because it meant to. So I don't think there's a missed opportunity. I think it just wasn't for me.
Yeah, I feel that halfway because I done missed some opportunities by not being ready. Actually, like I and actually by fear because I could have got ready during that opportunity, but by fear, and I missed that opportunity because I was scared. Like, like damn, I could have been there, and now to see this person doing it, I'm like, damn, I could do that easy, shit like that. But I agree with your question, your answer partially though, 100% or 50%. What about you, Marshall?
I think missed opportunity is something that you can either live in the past and constantly worry about the regrets and the what could have beens and everything like that, or you live in the future and the present and start going, if I missed out on that, it must have been for a reason. there's got to be something else coming around the pipeline, coming down the pipeline.
Okay, I
Exactly.
feel that. So,
Exactly.
so would y'all rather prove people wrong or have people believe in you from the beginning?
Both.
Both. And why
I think
both?
I think I think you need both.
Yeah,
I think you need a good balance of both. I think you need a good balance of motherfuckers that don't believe in you, just so that you got motivation to be like, I'm gonna show you motherfuckers. And
yeah,
then I think you need a good bit of people who believe in you, who support you, and from the very beginning, you know, bro, I see what you don't see, and I'm gonna push you. I'm gonna be on your ass because I know you great. I see something that you don't see in yourself yet. You know, I believe that everybody who is, very substantial in life, and very great in their craft, had someone in their corner to be like, I see something else in you. You
yeah. I
know,
believe that people who believe in you motivates you to prove the other people wrong.
yes.
Because they be like,
Yes.
"Nigga, don't worry about what they say.
Mike Mike
We got
Tyson's
this."
Mike Tyson's first trainer is the reason why Mike Tyson is who he was. When his trainer passed away, that's what that's what diminished Mike Tyson. Not having somebody in your corner like that. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? When that person when you do not have that person in your corner no more, it changes your outcome.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Joe Jackson was that for his family. You know what I'm saying? He was on everybody's ass, but it paid off. Whether they liked it or not, they
yeah.
all became a household name. The whole Jackson Fives, nigga, they had a cartoon, they had action figures, they had songs, they had commercials.
And they
You
had a
know what I
strict
mean?
ass daddy.
You know what I mean?
Whooping that ass.
All because they had somebody that seen something different in his kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I mean, he was kind of beating on him too. They scared of that nigga. So, like, all right, pops, I'm gonna do what you said.
Hey, hey, perfection.
All right,
But
daddy.
I bet you what. Even though the movie predicted, I mean, portrayed that he was spanking his kids and doing all that shit. I bet you not none one of them would say that they didn't appreciate what he put instilled in them
Yeah, I'm
once
pretty
they
sure.
got. You know what I mean?
They hated it when they was going through it, but they appreciated it after they made it, pretty much.
The same way with Mayweather. Mayweather dad forced him to do this shit when he was a kid,
Yeah,
and it made him the best boxer in the world in some people's eyes,
yeah.
or TBE, the best boxer ever. Let him tell it.
I mean, is he? I mean,
I mean,
lovers don't lie, do they? Or I don't get
I
it.
mean, numbers don't lie.
I'm sorry,
I
you
mean,
put Floyd Mayweather against Rocky Marciano. It's not even close.
Yeah, but that's a different weight class.
He's saying the best ever. The best ever is ever, boy. Ever, 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 ever. We're talking ever.
yeah,
Not
we're talking
not
ever.
not to this generation. He
But
said
but
ever.
but the opposition is always the argument. You know what I'm saying? Because they got guys that got similar records. They got guys who got more wins than Floyd. But then you look at the opposition. Who has 25 world champions in their resume that they've all beat it? Who has six different weight divisions and championships in six weight divisions? You know what I mean? If you when you start looking at the resume, he got a resume that's very hard to compare to other than like Pacquiao and Terrence Crawford.
Yeah, but
When you look at the resume.
and there's
Now,
you
now
are
don't
hey,
get me
there's other
twisted.
people.
Don't get me twisted. I put Muhammad when we talk about greatest boxer of all time.
And why?
I think it's the things that he did inside and outside the ring that we will never see. We will never see another Muhammad Ali inside or outside the ring.
Yeah, that's why pretty much everybody say he the greatest. But there's people with like 100 wins and like 6 losses that people don't even like. They don't talk about like 100 wins and you got 6 losses.
Well, that's what I was saying. I mean, um, Julio Chavez or Jose Chavez, how is his name? I think it's Julio Chavez. Julio
I
Chavez.
know what you're talking
He
about. Yeah.
has he has a hell of a lot of wins, you know. But then it's the argument, it's the opposition. It was who these guys were fighting. Was he fighting a whole bunch of bus drivers? You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Or was he fighting world class opposition?
Yeah, I feel that. How you feel?
Most of today's fighters have regular day jobs and everything. These UFC fighters are working at grocery stores and everything. That's like fighting a bus driver.
It's like fighting a bus driver.
That is
It, I mean, you fighting a guy who work at FedEx. He just do UFC on the weekend.
Yeah, he trained after work. Yeah, that's true. How
You
y'all
just
feel?
seen the guy here beating your ass.
How y'all feel about like bad moods and people ruining your moods? Because I gotta learn that too. Like people controlling my mood. That's what I gotta learn. Like I can't let people control my mood. Get out of my skin, because nigga, I control me.
I think I don't know about people controlling your moods, but I will say that energy is not destroyed. It's only transferred from one party to the next. So if me, you, and Matt had a martial art in a room filled with positivity, joking, laughing, and carrying on, someone comes into that room filled with negativity, slamming the doors, being ugly to us, and leave. That room has now he has now changed
Compromise.
it. He
Yeah.
has now changed the atmosphere, and now he done left that room with all that negative energy within it. With that negative energy, it's not destroyed. So between the three of us, that negative energy is going to bounce on one of us,
Mm-hmm.
and one of us is going to receive what he just left out of here with. You know what I mean?
And I think that's a weakness of mine sometimes. And I realize that, so I gotta work on that. Definitely. Because I
Well,
just go the fuck off, and then that's them controlling my mood.
yes, yes, that's giving somebody too much power over you.
Yeah, honestly. What about you?
Sometimes you need a mediator, somebody that can somebody that can be control your mood in a place at a certain time. So before you go off, you can get calm and everything, and
Yeah.
then like that have have a right hand. Don't try to put so much on you the way you can't delegate and everything like that. Sometimes you have to take some of the stress off you.
Have you already spoken about misconceptions of therapy?
A little bit.
But
Speak on it, do you?
uh, I think it ain't gonna work for everybody. And then you gotta have the right person. You can't just. A lot of people that I know go to therapy. They don't like go to that first therapist. The therapist they meet. They go picking around because this one ain't working out. And like I know people it just don't work. Like they're just stuck in their ways, and which stunts your growth as a person actually. And yeah, what y'all have on that? I don't want to reverse too much, but
You want to go, man?
Therapy is not for everybody, but I'd recommend it to at least give it a try. What else do you have to lose?
yeah,
It's something out there. If you've tried every other avenue, you've tried hobbies, you've tried other things, you exhausted all your friends, you've exhausted all your options and everything like that. the best way to do it would probably be at least give it a shot.
Okay. Mister, you already spoken that, or?
I agree with what Matt has said. Why not give why not give it a shot?
So,
It the worst it could do is not work. And my approach was like a form of therapy. It may not be like a physical therapist, but I feel
yeah,
like everybody needs a form of therapy, a outlet to get whatever it is off.
okay. All right, Marshall, I heard you said exhausted all your options. All right, so let's talk about like homeless people.
Okay.
Why don't they have anywhere to go? Because they exhausted all their options, or they're afraid to go home.
A lot of them choose to be homeless. Life has gotten to the point where it's easier to be
You,
homeless than it is to deal with everyday bullshit.
but when you're homeless, don't you deal with everyday bullshit?
Do you have to worry about a house payment? Do you have to worry about a car payment? Do you have to worry about co-workers? Do you have to worry about the kids? Do you have to worry about the bills piling up? Do you have to worry?
Yeah. What
That's a,
about
that's
shit?
a, that's a, that's a big relief on people.
Yeah, I get that, but uh, Mister, what you feel about homelessness?
I think I think it's a choice for the most part.
But some
Let
people
me
can't
let
go
me let
back
me let me
home.
let me hold on. That's why I said let me regurgitate that. I don't think it's so much as a choice as it is. Some people do accept it. Um, I understand that circumstances happen. Temporary. Now, when we speak on homelessness, I'm not speaking on temporary homelessness. I'm not speaking on someone who couldn't afford their bills this month and got evicted. I'm
No,
taking
not
on
that. I'm talking about niggas in
right.
the street with the
I'm
sign.
speaking on people who accepted the lifestyle to live outside of the resources of Earth. Um, for those
That's what
people,
I
I
was
think
speaking on.
right.
Yeah.
For those people, I think it is a choice. I think they decided that this is what they was going to do now. I don't think they want the help. I think some of those people, uh, even even may be mentally better off than you are. They just chose to say fuck the world.
No, yeah, I agree. Shit, I was homeless before, but not outside all the time. It's just like, nigga, like, let me sleep on
Use
your couch.
temporary.
Yeah, let me sleep on your couch. Yeah, so yeah, I get that. All right, so
Okay, now let me ask you a question. Do you think being without a home and homeless is two different things?
um, no.
Hmm, I do. I
Explain
think
that.
Explain,
being
explain.
Explain that.
Yeah.
I, I think being without a home is not having your own place. You may be still working. You may have someone that lets you sleep on their couch or something of that
In their
manner.
extra room.
And you know what I'm saying? Or you know what I mean? Or you had to go back home with your mom or a family member, whatever. I think that's being without a home. I think homeless is the person who literally has no roof, no place of entry where they can go and lay their head, and they choose to sleep outside.
That's what I said. No, I don't think they're the same thing. Mi casa, su casa. And if I got somewhere to say, you got somewhere to say. Like, I mean, you ain't homeless. So, yeah. So,
So you
what you,
agree? So you agree that not having a home and being homeless is two different things,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So I'm gonna say to you that you were never homeless. You just didn't have a home.
Yeah. I was on thin line. Man, that shit was thin, boy. Hey, that shit was, you couldn't even see the line.
You were skating on thin ice.
Nigga, it was water ice. Yeah, it was water ice. All right, so self confidence. I read this article earlier this week. This lady was like, she's a stage 4 addict, and she's clean now, but she's gonna relapse. She knows she is. So she's doubting herself. Like, and it's a famous person.
Yeah.
And I was saying stage 4, she make it sound like cancer, but she said she's a stage 4 addict, like a pill
She said
popper.
she's going. She said she's
She's
going
going
to
to.
relapse.
She
Well,
said
that's her
she
problem.
says
Well,
it's inevitable, so she's not strong minded. That's the thing.
I agree because I feel like so is a man thinketh, so is he. So I
Actually,
feel like
every addict should have that mindset. If every addict had that mindset, they wouldn't take one pill so they don't relapse. That's why they're trained to have that mindset to where they're 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 powerless to their addiction.
hmm,
Yeah, it controls you. And then like if you're going months sober, and it takes one day, and then you're going months not sober, and then you quit, and then you do it again. It's off and on thing, which is a mindset thing. And self, like I said, she said she was going to relapse. She said it.
yeah, but I feel like okay. So I hate. I apologies for making everything face based. I can't help to be wired the way I am, but I'm wired the way I am. So in the Bible, it says the faith the size of a mustard seed moves mountains. So if you keep that same philosophy, since that's what she believes in, since that's what she believes, if she believes that she's going to relapse, absolutely she will. When I believe that I'm going to fail, I fail. When I believe I'm a fall. It's like when you believe, when you set your mind to believe that you're not good enough, you just told yourself that you're not good enough. I think people who believe that they're the best, I think people who believe that they're going to succeed and do great things and wholeheartedly believe it with every fiber in their bones, I think those people are true. And I
I,
think people who say they and I think those people who say they cannot and they won't achieve this or things is too hard and this is or whatever, putting a cap on their success, I
But
think that
isn't
is
that the problem with the current hip hop game? Is everybody's saying they're the best?
hey, it's a good question.
that's a great question. That's a great question. But I feel like in anything that you do, in any craft that you have, that's the way you should come at it. Why are you doing it if you don't want to be uh substantial in your craft, a master of your craft? Everyone should feel like they're the master of their craft.
That's like
You
what you said
know,
about you said Muhammad Ali was the greatest, and he used to always say I'm the world's greatest.
right? You know,
He used to always say that. All right, so
and
yeah, I'm listening.
you believe it so much that other people start to believe it.
Yeah. And that comes with what we talked about earlier, energy.
Yes,
Like,
sir.
hold on, I like that. All right, so
Mhm.
helping your friends and family get through struggling mental health issues. I'll answer that. I don't know if y'all already went through that. I help them with just talk to them. I talk to at least one of my friends every day about everything, like anything that's going on. I think that like you seek therapy and people that's closest to you, and then being like truthfully with them and honestly with them, and um, I think sometimes people need to feel comfortable with
Yeah,
talking.
yeah, man.
And then I get a lot of calls a day, like, and people need to feel comfortable, like, and then for people to come to you and show you they're comfortable, that's therapy to them. So yeah, I think that's and it's therapy to me too. Because sometimes, I hear stories, these niggas tell me, I'm like, damn, man, I was sad. I ain't really got it that bad. This nigga going through some shit. You're like, yo, I need to man up. Like, what the fuck? God damn. And then, like, what we used to say back then, I need to tighten up. Like, yeah, yeah. So it's like, and then, like, you realize it ain't that bad what you're going through. Like, this, what they say, Antonio, this too shall pass. Yeah.
This too shall pass.
But that comes with being strong minded too, because at those moments, people give up.
And I think it also comes down to what me and Tone were talking about pre-show, and it comes down to the serenity prayer.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't know what that is.
It's basically God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the power to accept the things I cannot change, and the wisdom to know the difference. It's
Yes,
basically saying know that you can't control everything, and you have to be able to know that only be able to control what you can control. Don't step outside your realm and try to control everything. That's not your job. That's his job.
exactly.
Damn. So what was the conversation about atheists earlier? Because I got going right in the middle and then it ended.
No, that was just a quick tidbit.
Oh,
Yeah, that
okay.
was that was just a tidbit. We were just saying, it was just a tidbit. I was just saying, like, I agree with the comedian that I heard that he made a joke. It was like for people who hate this, you don't understand it because like you could have just do like other people and made up a god. He was like, you don't even want to make up one. Like your life so bad, you don't even want to make up a god. So
Like where you
yeah,
going? Yeah. Uh, I see. How can technology, and I want to answer this first, affect your mental health, positive and negative. Positive wise, you see everybody going viral. Technology, social media, everybody going viral. Everybody's
right.
going viral, and then monetization, which we're about to get to on this podcast. We're going to be monetizing. The negative is people think they got to be like this person. Just be you, and people are and that's been causing suicides. Like, oh, I got to look like this. I got to look like that. I got to act like this. Oh yeah, I don't get that many likes like as her, but you feel like you look better than her or him, or and it's letting you down, and then now you go into depression. Now you're it's a rabbit hole. Now you're popping pills, doing anything like because you don't. Hey, what they say? You are
You are
enough.
enough.
You don't feel like you're enough, and then that's the negative part about it. And but what you said earlier, you gotta have both. You just gotta be able to handle it. That's it. And that starts with teaching our kids early. Like my kids know, hey, don't you ain't gotta be like them.
But don't you need the drive to feel like that you're not enough to have the drive to leave a lasting impression?
It depends on who you are.
Uh,
It depends on who you are.
I
Because
don't
if you
know.
tell me that, nigga,
I,
I'm gonna prove you wrong. But if you tell somebody else who goes through depression, that's gonna hurt them.
I guess it just yeah. I guess it depends on how you receive it because everybody don't take criticism well. Um, but to me, I think you have to believe in yourself to want to leave a lasting impression. I feel like you have to believe that you worth an oppression to be left. You know, I feel like when you believe in yourself, ultimately, you know, you like, I'm gonna leave my stain on this, whatever lane that you're in, whatever legacy that you're
Yeah,
chasing.
but most times you say, "I'm gonna leave a mark on this bitch and everything. Wait till I come back. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna come through like hellfire and brimstone." Is when somebody pissed you off and you're at your lowest point. When you feel you are not enough is when the fire kicks in and you're like, "I'm gonna show these motherfuckers."
Yeah, but see, yeah, that's true, but it depends on what you do after that. It
Right,
depends
right.
on what you do after that.
I guess it's situational. I guess it's situational
It could
because,
be.
because some people, like I said, because some people believe what other people say about them. You know,
Yeah.
this is why we have some people who commit suicide. You know what I mean? Because of what someone said about them.
And
Um,
social media bullying. That's cyberbullying. That's another thing I
all,
forgot.
right, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? I think electronics can have a negative and a positive effect. I think, of course, the negative aspect is just getting on these electronic devices and reading negative comments that people done said about you.
I got a
Um,
question though. What's worse?
yeah,
Is it getting pantsed in the middle of the school cafeteria, or is it getting caught with like a balloon like shoved up your shirt or something like that and have it go around the internet for all your classmates to say? What's more embarrassing?
I think the
uh,
cafeteria. Uh, it's in person. Like, you on the internet,
I
these things
think,
don't know me. Hey, what? These things don't know me. I'm on the internet.
and that's why I say it's situational because just like he said, he feels like it's more, he'll be more messed up about someone seeing it at his school that know him. And
Yeah.
and and see me, I think totally opposite. I think, well, if it happened at school, shit, it's only subject to these people at that school that was in that lunch at that time. You know what I mean? Versus if it's on the internet, now it's subjected to everyone. And that's what that
Not now, because if it happened at lunch, the niggas at lunch gonna clown you, and then it's gonna be all over the web because of social media. So you get clowned twice. I'd rather get clowned one time, bro.
is.
I'd rather get clowned one time. But that's me. But hey, I'm gonna roast you back though. So I mean, yeah, I don't care. I don't care. All right, so
Do you think physical abuse is down?
is dumb or done?
Down. Do you
Physics.
think since cyberbullying is up, you think physical abuse is down? Do you think swirlies is still getting passed around? Do you think kids are still ending up in lockers? Or do you think that's
Do I think physical bullying is down since there's cyberbullying now? No, I disagree with that because
I
I
think
got
it
kids.
causes more because you're talking shit over the web.
Right, I got
Hey,
I
hey,
got
hold on.
kids.
Hey, they say what they say on the web. You're talking shit to it's on site, and it be on site as soon as they see you. But yeah, Mister, you got it.
I have to piggyback off what B said. I think the internet has increased the cyberbullying has increased the physical bullying in a way
Yeah,
because now if you speak up to a cyberbully, and now you done defended yourself on the internet. Now you got to defend yourself in person.
mm-hmm. And it's on site. So and then you looking over your shoulder everywhere you go like that. I'm like, see this nigga. Hold on. You got ride with your squad everywhere. Can't be so long.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy.
Yeah,
That's a crazy way to live.
that is crazy because I ain't looking over no shoulders, man. You gonna have to kill me. Hey, I see a question about nature therapy. How it
No,
does.
we haven't tapped on that one.
I'm gonna tell you. I think nature therapy is a good realization because it makes you realize a lot because ain't no phone out there. It makes you just think about like, and it's like positive. Like, let me tell you this. One time when I did shrooms with my white friend, and I went in the woods and shit, and and it like shrooms aren't bad. Like I used to always think they're bad, but like I went out there with a good mindset because they say it enhances your mood, just like fucking like Adderall and all that other shit. But like I went out there, nigga, and I swear when I got off, the shit I was on, because everything was bright, nigga, beautiful, beautiful, and everything was like so vivid. I was like, yo, I like this shit, Everybody's like, and it made me like realize. That's when I started realizing like you can't take life for granted, and you gotta enjoy happy things. And I was in like the best mood after that, like for a long time, But so yeah, but it affects different people differently. So, but that was yeah. I might want to do that again. Hold on, I might,
Hold on. So was it the nature or was it the shrooms? I can't
it was
tell.
it was
Hey,
both.
I
It was
just to
both.
let you know that you can now they're giving out us. You can get psilocybin. It's something found in mushrooms that they're given to schizophrenic patients as a way for to treat mental health.
You see? You see what I'm talking about? Look. Yeah. But it was both. Because, like, I don't think it would have been the same if I would have did that and went to a grocery store. Because, I'd be like, I'd felt like everybody looking at me because I was out of my body. Like, I was, like, so I'd have felt like, but ain't nobody out there in the nature. It's just me and nature. And my friends who are in the same mood, so they feel regular to me. So, and that was a great experience. Nigga, we went to the springs. Nigga, I don't be remembering shit, but I remember that shit. It was a long day. Nigga, yeah, we went to the springs, nigga, kayaking. Nigga, I ain't never kayaked.
You was on that kayaking, be you.
Yes, nigga, I got photos. Nigga, kayaking, like the water's so clear, and then you're on shrooms. It's even clearer. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm reminiscing. Somebody asked a question, man. I'm gonna be rambling.
Nature makes you realize that humans are the aliens. Because you look at nature and is a nice circle of life, and everything's got its reason for being here, and they all have a reason to give and take away from the earth and everything like that. And then you go look at the ocean and they have their own ecosystem and everything like that. And then you go to planet earth and land and you have us, and we just take away from everything.
Yeah.
We rely on everything else. What everything else is this nice circle of life, we rely on everything else.
Yeah, that's why they get. I don't see how they get mad when bobcats are attacking your dogs when you broke down their fucking environment to build houses.
They keep getting closer and closer, cutting down more and more and everything.
And they ain't got nowhere to go, so they come in. They come to the hood. Yeah, they're on the way. They're on the way right now. So yeah, honestly. Y'all ask the questions what y'all didn't ask because I don't know.
I asked you fellas a question. How do y'all feel trauma and past experiences affects your mental health?
Letting it control you. And you gotta what I say. you gotta grow through what you go through. Because like if you don't grow through that, you're gonna be stagnant or you're gonna go downhill. So yeah, y'all can write that down. You gotta
Do
grow
you do
through it.
you, do you think your past traumas or past experience, do you think that affects your behavior?
Yeah, hell yeah.
And,
Hey, it's
and
harder.
let
It's harder for me to get closer to people because
okay.
I get once I'm close, I'm close. So it's harder for me to do that. And it's harder for me to trust, which comes with that. But it also enhances me because it's like, yo, I never want to go through that again. I never want to be that low again in my life. I
Hmm,
never want to be in the position I was when I met Matt Hatter Marshall. You
right.
know my story, Marshall. Both of y'all know my story, but yeah, I never want to be there again. So I'm gonna do everything it takes not to be there again. So that's how it promotes my behavior too.
What about you? What about you, man? How does trauma and past experience shape our present behavior and our mental health?
I think it shapes us into the person we are. I don't think it
Mm,
shapes us into the person we want to be. I think
hmm.
it shapes us into the person we are. I think the person we want to be might have a whole other look, but the fact that our trauma has hindered what we thought we might have become or where we thought our or who we would be has hampered that situation.
Right. Mm.
What about you, Mister?
I think I I I kind of I mean not kind of like I mean like I agree with what Mad and Marshall said. I feel like our past traumas kind of uh, become our identity. You know, our past experiences, just like you just said, it molds us and alter and change who we are now. You know, we move differently after we done been through things, and because we experienced it, now we are experienced in this. So now we are aware and more kind in our senses on that type of that situation. Like so, and most of the time when we don't like a certain situation or it was traumatic to us, we don't want that traumatic situation to happen. So as soon as we recognize familiarities to something that was traumatic to us, we know how to negate and move around it.
All right, so let me piggyback off that. The Stephen A. and LeBron situation.
Mm,
They're Marshall. You probably know about this. They're going through it because Stephen A. was saying Bronny didn't uh is not supposed to be in the NBA because
right,
he only got in the NBA because his dad said bring him in the NBA and he's like the greatest player right now. And
right.
Stephen A. is like, yo, he don't deserve that, you know. But and then LeBron seen him at a game and mid game went to Stephen A. and like, yo, you leave my family out the shit. And then he dropped podcasts about it too. So I
I
see
think
it.
Stephen A is completely right.
I think so too. But I mean, and and Stephen A. was like, I wasn't talking about your family. I was talking about the situation.
He's a sports reporter,
And he's
and
like,
his
I'm
job
supposed
is
to
to
do this. Yeah.
his job is a sports reporter, and his job is to report on sports. If your dad is a LeBron James and has this much power, and your son is only getting drafted because he's your son,
And you told
and
it on live that, yeah,
it,
oh, I'm going to any team that my son goes to. Like that's
exactly. And you got your agent, Rich Paul, who basically is a majority agent for most of the NBA and everything, one of the most powerful agents in the NBA, representing your son, saying, oh, don't draft Bronny because he's not going to go there.
yeah.
You're, you,
Yeah, he
it's
set it
not
up for the
like
Lakers. Yeah.
it's not like he's got no basis to back up his story. There's a whole lot of breadcrumbs to lead up to it.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. So hold on. Are we saying that Bronny is not qualified to be in the NBA? That's what we're saying.
I
We're
mean,
saying that he's taken up a spot of somebody that probably deserves it much more.
Hold on. What makes him not deserve it more?
you want to answer that, Marshall, or I let Marshall answer that one? Because I literally just said his dad got him there. Because
I said,
his
what makes him not?
his
I'm not
averages in
asking.
college. Like
Okay, but his averages in college was because he was on a minute restriction.
okay,
Before that situation, he was already an All American. His
How
daddy didn't
many
make him an
all?
All
and his
American.
averages as an All American, like yo, he's LeBron James' son. Like his averages is All American, like all that.
I got no problem saying Bryce belongs in the NBA because I
Bryce
think Bryce
is
is better at everything like that. But as
Bryce
far
would get
as
there without
Bronny,
LeBron.
he's Bronny Jr. He's getting pushed in the NBA. Dad wants to play with his son and everything. It seems like it's a lot of LeBron living out his dream to play with his son. It seems like Bronny's just being pulled along for the ride, and I actually worry about his well-being.
And I brought that statement up because how y'all feel like Bronny feeling with all this fucking criticism on him, like mentally, and
The boy went.
he's
The
been
boy.
tuning it out. He's been
The
I
boy.
can tell.
The boy got his career high in the NBA, and then went into the G League and got his career high in the same league in the G League. So he dropped 17 in the NBA with that crying that he couldn't do. And, you know what I'm saying? He played a substantial amount of minutes. He got substantial amount of points. Um, and had some rebounds, blocks, and assists to go along with that. Then the same week he dropped the 39 piece in the
The G
G
League.
League with some rebounds, assists, and some steals to go along with that game. So
JD Davidson drops 20 regularly. He's still not good enough to make the Celtics rotation. You're going to tell me that Bronny's good enough to make the Lakers team? There is a lot of
I'm
disparity in the
saying that
league.
I'm saying he is the youngest player to average 20 points a game, 5 assists, and 5 rebounds in the G League. His dad didn't make
How
that.
many G League games have you watched?
Not many.
Have you seen the
But
talent in the G League compared to the NBA and compared to college?
yes. I have seen enough games of the G League.
All I'm
Yes.
saying is if LeBron James wasn't Bronny's dad, he wouldn't be in the NBA.
He certainly wouldn't have been a one and done.
Yeah, he wouldn't have been. He probably wouldn't have went to college ball where he
Well,
went.
he probably. I'll give him college ball, but I don't see him as a one and done. I see him as a 4-year guy, maybe drafted in the second round and becomes a lower key on the lower end of the bench guy.
But Bryce, the baby brother, that nigga would have went without. Hey. But hey, so on the other hand, I'm not mad at LeBron because I did say shit for my son. I ain't gonna lie to you. Hey, I would have been like, yo, hey, bring this nigga with me. I don't give a fuck what his
Yo,
stats.
yo, hold on. Man, you still put him in the NBA? 4 years.
Eventually,
Okay, so are we mad that he got to the NBA sooner? Because I still think he's NBA quality. He's
can
still
you
very
can
young. He's still very young.
can
And
you
he
honestly
developed very
sit there and
quickly.
say that you don't think LeBron's pulling strings?
Do I think LeBron's pulling strings?
Look at me before you answer this. Look at me close before you answer this.
I mean, that's pretty obvious.
Okay, all
He
right,
he's
we
pulling
cool.
strings in the lake in L.A. Yes, that seems to be pretty evident.
He was pulling strings
And
in
the in whole
Miami.
in
That's
the
why
whole
he made
yeah.
the announcement. He's been pulling strings for years.
But I will say, nigga, I would have did the same thing for my son. Hey, bring
Are
this
we
nigga
mad
with
because
me.
he did it for his son?
No, this is just a conversation. I don't pick no side, but Stephen A. Smith was right. But he would have called me wrong
But
because I would have
he
did the
was
same
right
thing.
saying that what?
That Bronny got in the NBA because of him, because of LeBron.
But
And
Manhattan Marshall just said that he still would have been a 4 year draft after 4 years.
yeah, but he got in there before he
Maybe a
was prepared.
role player or coming off the bench.
They're trying to make him a big name. He got in there before he was prepared.
Can you name any of the other rookies in this year's draft class? Can you name the number one draft pick in this year's draft class?
No, because all they talked about was Bronny, and he wasn't.
Exactly.
You can't.
Exactly.
They took the
You can't
spotlight.
name the top one, the top two, the top three. You can't name who the top five were in the draft class at all.
Because it's all Bronny.
Because it's all Bronny.
And that nigga was nowhere close to them. That's crazy.
Yeah, 55.
This is going to be the draft class of where the second round player is more known as the first round player, no matter what the stats pull up, no matter what. Bronny will not win Rookie of the Year, but people will think, who won Rookie of the Year? Bronny's Rookie Year, and the people will say it's Bronny.
Yeah.
And they won't even know.
Yeah.
That's how I think we're mad at the push of it on us. I think we're mad that it's being pushed on us.
Okay.
I think we're mad at the purity of the game, feeling like it's being taken away from us. That we believe that it was competition and not who you know, but what you did on the court that got you there.
I respect that.
Yeah. I ain't mad at LeBron though. Hey. But once he got there, I would just stop talking. Let his game speak for itself. Because then you put more pressure on your son. Because just like you got people that talk about him, they're not all talking good. So all talk ain't good talk. I'm gonna let you know that now.
But publicity is publicity.
Yep. All publicity is good. Because you got people talking about you. All publicity is good.
Hey, it's a saying. They say they may be talking good, they may be talking bad, but
at least they talking.
At least they talking.
Yeah, exactly.
If they're talking about me, at least they're leaving somebody else alone.
Yeah, and they thinking about me like all the time, then.
Yep. If they're talking about me, at least they leaving somebody else alone.
Let me ask you, before we wrap this thing up, what is a way to set personal boundaries for your mental
health? To set boundaries?
Yeah, to set personal boundaries for your mental health. Like, what is the proper way to do that?
I got a on and off switch. And like it grew on me. Like sometimes I would be able to use it, but now I control me, not nobody, not nobody else. So I got I pick and choose. That's a good thing to say. So yeah, I got an on and off switch because I'm a firecracker, and then sometimes it'd be like, I don't feel like it today, or I shouldn't do it, or it'll get me in some shit, especially at work. You know that situation, mister, with who you work with. So everybody, all right, there's a the best way to say it, there's a time and a place.
Yeah. definitely a time and place for everything.
Yeah, there's a time and a place, and I know when the time is and where the place at every time.
Right,
And
right,
now, do I care all the time? No. Will I
right.
deal with the consequences? Yes, I have to.
Right,
Because
right,
if you get me, this come with what I told you earlier about people controlling my mood. If you get me
right,
pissed off and I don't care, it's gonna be bad.
right.
So yeah.
I respect that. We got Montana Cobain stepped up in the building. What's up, Montana?
Yo,
He hopped on when you trying to end the show.
hey man,
Nah,
look, bro, I couldn't have came on earlier, boy. Them little rambunctious rumpkins, it wouldn't have worked.
no,
No, I
man, it's
said
all good,
he
man.
hopped on when he was trying to end the show. I hopped on late too. Don't get mad. Don't get
You know,
mad.
I figured out. Bro, called me. I was like, man, I gotta try to pop in some way, somehow. Like, man, hopefully they still going in. I heard you talking, and then here you come talking about, man, he about to end this shit. I'm like, oh, damn. Oh,
It's
damn.
all good. It's all good, man. It's all good.
Well, what was the,
We
what
do.
was
We you have in just in time. We do word association. We do five
Hold up,
words of association.
hold up. How was your week? Hey, let's talk about therapeutic with
Absolutely,
Montana right
absolutely,
quick.
absolutely.
How was your
But
week and like, did you have any different emotions this week and everything like that, Montana?
the, this week was, this week was a little upsetting at first, seeing as how my one of my main customers wanted to shit us and not basically hold on to the loads or whatever. So I had to go on a load board and basically book my whole week out my damn self. And it was like fuck it, like I go pick this up, I pick that up, I do this. So I basically pre-planned my whole week. By Tuesday, I already knew where I was gonna be at Friday morning. You know what I'm saying? And dropping off and so on and so on. I was dropping one, picking one every day. But and then, they try to come back at me and offer me a load going to the middle of bumfuck nowhere, Tennessee in the mountains for pennies on the dollar. But, you know what I'm saying, for the therapeutic part of it, I took actions into my own hands and made a frown into a smile because, oh damn, I took the wrong turn. Oh, you bitch. But I
All
could
right, for the all right, so for the therapeutic part, how you gonna handle that wrong turn?
shit, there we go, goddamn, we're gonna take this right and see where it leads me. Shit.
Nah, but I'm listening, bro.
But no, for the therapeutic part of this week, man, I just basically I turned my bad into good, you know what I'm saying, and made the best that I can out of, you know what I'm saying, a bad situation because I could have just, put my faith in somebody else or, and try to allow them to dictate. No, I had to take matters into my own hands, and sometimes, a lot of times, you got to do that. You can't sit around and wait for somebody else to get things done for you. You got to go out there and do it for yourself.
Honestly. So did that put you in a bad mood? Were you pissed off or
Um, yeah, at first, yeah, because I'm tired of waiting on the fucking customer. I'm tired of you always trying to give us the shit and then the stick and give, your local, your guys that stay 30 minutes away from the damn, plant. You want to give them all the good shit. But the motherfucker just driving an hour or 2 hours down to come get it, you want to try to give us the scraps, basically, what the local boys don't want. And I don't like that.
yeah? So all right. So I'm gonna ask you one more question because I have a problem. I be having a problem with this with work. Does that make you like lose sleep?
Does it make me lose sleep?
Yeah, like because when I
At
be thinking
times,
about work, yeah, exactly. I be thinking
at
about
at
work.
time at times it can because um all it takes is one day can ruin my whole week.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, something. Then now you're focusing like, okay, I'm already coming out the house with a $2,000 overhead. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So I got to clear my overhead first before I can even think about bringing in any type of profit or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. I feel that. All right, Mister. We got any questions for him? Any quick questions or Matt
We
Haddock?
go.
You got any questions?
We got five. We got five therapeutic words that we're gonna do. Word association where we're gonna first thing that come to your mind when I say these five words. We're gonna go around the room. It'll go Matt, Hatter, BU, Montana, and myself for these five words, and we'll wrap it up after that. Breathe. What is the
Breeze,
first thing? Breathe, like you breathing. What's the first thing come to your mind when you hear breathe? Man, Hatter.
slow breaths.
All right, my
That's
turn.
it.
All right,
Yes, sir.
I ain't got one word. Breathe mean I'm about to fuck somebody up or like woosai, like, hey, you better get the fuck around me. Cause if I gotta sit there, I'm pissed off. Like what the fuck? And like yeah, so that's what it means to me.
All
Like
right, man.
and
Montana.
then
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, my bad. I thought you was finished. For you.
It's on.
Go ahead.
It's on me. I'm on
nah,
breathe.
breathe in and then listen. That goes
No.
back when I did those shrooms. Nigga, what is it called? I meditated that day too.
Right.
So
Nigga, I was sitting Indian style.
is the
Like
word
real shit.
breathe or
I got
breathe?
friends like that.
Breathe like you breathe, like you breathing.
Okay, breathe.
Like
Okay,
yeah,
all right,
breathing. Yeah, I was
all
saying
right.
Indian style. Like nigga told me just sit here, close your eyes, take deep breaths. Nigga, I was, and yeah, but like on regular shit, breathe means get fuck from around me. I'm trying to calm myself down because somebody done pissed me off. All right,
Okay.
all right, Montana. I'm sorry,
Uh,
man. Y'all know I'm crazy.
yeah, the breathe. Um, shit. For me, it mean for me when I hear the word breathe, like I usually look at it like he just said, calming down or stepping back and assessing the situation. When I hear the word breathe, like like hold on, chill out. It might not be as bad as it seems, or they didn't
Yeah.
mean what they just said, or did he really just say that? Okay, that's how I look at the word breathe when I hear it.
All right. Cool.
Mister.
For me, when I hear breathe, man, I think like what I'm saying, time to take a moment to what I'm saying, reset and recess the situation. Um, to clear my mind. What I'm saying, or to just calm my mind. Like
Yeah.
breathe, like what I'm saying, breathe in, breathe out. Like you hear people tell you that shit when they got anxiety or something like that. So when I hear breathe, what I'm saying, I just think like, breathing in, saying new things and exhaling all the stresses, you know.
Mm.
And embrace. Man, I have it.
Embrace. Welcome warmly. To welcome somebody with a warm disposition.
Mm.
Yeah,
All,
I
all,
like
em-
that.
all embracing is not good. You got to embrace the good and the bad.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes you can't just embrace the good. You got to embrace both and create who you are. Like you gotta take the good with the bad. And like I said earlier, you gotta grow through what you go through. You gotta embrace both. It takes two.
Shit.
Montana, embrace. What does that mean to you?
Um, to take on something,
Yeah.
like to prepare yourself for something. Um,
Yes.
like that. Yeah. those would be my two definitions or whatever.
Right, right, right. I think embrace means to me to like encourage openness or like to encourage like to accepting change. You know, embracing this new thing or
Yeah.
so that's what I think when I hear embrace. Release, man, Heather, release.
Probably the opposite of embrace, unless you want to release anger or something like that, and then it would be an outlet.
Yeah,
So probably release would probably be an outlet.
outlet. I like that. What
I
about
like the
you?
answer. Release to me means go the fuck off. Um, you gotta go the fuck off. Sometimes you gotta go off on a motherfucker, and or you release the negativity around you, which means you stop being around them. You get away from that negative energy. You release them. You don't no bad energy with them, but you get them out your life and all that. So then you're happier. But the first definition is like you got go the fuck off. It's built up. You gotta let it out. So whoever gets that fucking releasement, hey, yeah,
Yeah.
All right,
Same for
what you
me.
got, my son?
same for you.
I'm about to say same for me. Like when I hear release, it's like I'm letting go of something, whether it be gas, a sexual orgasm or fucking whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like when I hear release, like I'm letting some shit go. Like it's getting
Exactly.
go.
Yeah.
I could clear a room out.
I think it's the same for me. When I hear release, what I'm saying, I hear, what I'm saying, to let something go, you know.
Yeah.
So about the same answer for me. Nurture, man, I had a nurture.
Naturally, naturally naturally raised to be one's like naturally raising, naturally mothering,
I was about to say.
naturally.
I was about to say. When I hear nurture, I just think of my mama. I ain't about to.
Okay.
Like she was there when my dad wasn't. Like everything. I just think of my mama. When I hear nurture, and then I think of now I think of my kids when you hear that because I had to nurture them and then build their character. Because they act like me, so and the good me, the good them fucking well they do go off, but like that's how I think of it.
For me, nurturing or nurture, I,
Yeah,
I,
nurture.
I when I hear the word nurture, I think of raising or rearing something up to be an exact carbon copy of exactly what you want. Even though such said person or animal, may follow their own intuition, but when you're nurturing it, you're basically wanting you're wanting for such said thing to be exactly what you want it to be. Like I'm raising my son, or example would be I'm raising my son to be a lawyer or a doctor. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna nurture him by putting him in the finer schools, keeping
Yeah,
him, off the streets, and paying for the education and stuff like that, and making sure he's on school, he's at school on time, and his head's always in the books. That's what I think of when I think about nurturing or nurture.
Good answer.
I like that. I like that. When I think about nurture, I think it's simple for me. I think nurture means to bring something up to grow something in a positive light. Whether it's whether I'm nurturing a plant or I'm nurturing a child, I'm bringing it up and and in a positive light. I'm putting love into something, you
Mm.
know, when I hear nurture. Transform, Matt had a transform.
To go from a bud to a flower, to
Mm,
to 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 metamorphosize,
yes.
to change.
That's what I was gonna say to change and not even I was gonna say to grow, but change all change ain't good change.
Right.
So yeah, there's some bad change out there, and like also like to transform like never mind.
Uh,
We don't want
You
no
can
problem with the alphabets, my boy. Oh no
hey,
no no no.
hey you can see a check that
hey, Monta, what you got for transform?
okay.
For transform, for me, I would have to say to be something that you never once was before.
Mm, I like
You
that.
know, like you could like me. You said you could transform to something good. You could transform to something bad. But
Yeah, you were
at the end
never
of the
that
day,
person. Yeah,
you're changed. You was never that before. You know what I'm saying? That's why somebody say this motherfucker transformed overnight, didn't he? You know, it's new to the other eye or somebody looking at it. So that's how I think about transform.
like you see a chick that look good from a distance, and you get closer. Yeah,
Boy,
man, it's like, hey, hold up,
or
you
or
ain't
you
that
say
good
how
looking.
y'all or you say how y'all ladies doing tonight and you hear we good. Oh Lord, it's a transformer.
Oh man, that was crazy. Uh, when I hear about transform, I think about a renewal or a change. When I hear about transform, I think about a renewal or a change, a transition in my life, or a change in my life. When I hear about transform, um,
Yeah,
man, and that is our five topics for 5 letters for associations therapeutic Thursday, man. So I appreciate everybody listening in with us, man. We had Manhattan, we had Montana, and we got BU with us, man. Y'all boy got something to say to the people before we wrap it up?
hey, I'm rough, so people come at they come at me with assumptions, but hey, they leave with understandings, bro. That's all I got to say.
I love that. I love that. Y'all guys got something to say to the people before we wrap it up?
Y'all have a good night.
um uh Damn, what was I about to say, man? I can't hold on. Be be yourself,
Be
people.
you.
Be yourself, man. Um Being an individual is a whole lot better than being categorized into one group. Um,
Yeah,
no matter how you look at it, man, because at the end of the day, whether it's good or bad, if you're committing a crime, most people not gonna tell on themselves. But you go out there and you go out there and commit that crime with 5 different people. You know, now you're no longer the individual. It's the state versus all y'all. You know what I'm saying? So be yourself, man.
yeah.
Be yourself.
Oh yeah. All you gotta do is be you.
Hmm.
I like that. I like all these gentlemen's last statement. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate y'all viewing us. Don't forget to like and subscribe and tell your friends about us. Um, we appreciate it if you go on any of the podcast servers and leave a review so that we can get more viewers and more listeners. Appreciate you for your time. And don't forget, Art for Change. Peace and love, y'all. And we're
All you gotta
gone.
do is be
Peace.
you.
Be you.
Take care.
Be you.